Welcome to LollieTasking with ADHD. I am your host, Dr. Lola, a multi-passionate mom of three, a physician, and an ADHD life coach because, like most of you amazing women listening, I have ADHD. Join me as we chat about how ADHD affects our lives and learn strategies to help us all thrive, not just survive, with ADHD so we can live the life we want while accomplishing all our goals. Let's get started. Welcome to LollieTasking with ADHD. Again, my name is Dr. Lola, a physician and ADHD trained life coach for easily distracted women who are just tired of being busy and ready to be more productive so they can accomplish all their goals with ease. So, before we get started, as usual, I'd like to give a shout out to my dear friend Cheryl. Cheryl left a review on our podcast and she was like, "Girl, I didn't know you did all this. I am so proud of you." Sometimes it's harder for us to take like thankfulness and criticism or constructive feedback, as I like to call it, from my fellow friends and family. So it's okay to shout them out too. So I just want to thank you for supporting me, girl. All right. So today we are talking about Thanksgiving with ADHD. Yay! So Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. And as you guys know, Thanksgiving is this week. And if you're listening to this in future episodes, you can also apply this to Christmas or any kind of holidays where you're going to see your family and friends, because it kind of apply, if you get what I'm saying. So, first of all, I'm all about the why. Like, why do we even celebrate Thanksgiving? Okay, what is the reason for the season? We say this a lot of times for Christmas or Easter, but what about Thanksgiving? What is the reason why we celebrate Thanksgiving? Is to give thanks. And it's important to kind of like take a break and remember all the stuff that God has done for us and remember what we're thankful for, right? Life can be so hard. Even if you're like, my life is so hard, I have nothing to be thankful for. The fact that you're listening to this podcast right now tells me you're alive and you have at least that one thing to be thankful for. And as long as you're alive, that means God still has a purpose for you in this life. So keep on trucking. You don't have to give up, right? As long as you're not giving up, you're winning and you're succeeding, okay? Especially with ADHD, we are amazing at focusing on our negatives. We have a negative memory bias, right? Everything, like we can talk about the 10 different ways we're horrible or we're bad. We have so much negative self-talk that we forget all the amazing things, right? All the amazing things that is great about our brain and all the amazing things we have actually accomplished, right? So for me, when I wake up every day, I try to do a gratitude where I just thank God for 2 to 3 things in the day. And I incorporate it in when I do my prayers. So it's not something I have to remember like, oh my gosh, I need to do my gratitude. So it's just part of my prayer. When I start praying, I say, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. I thank you for, work yesterday. I thank you for my children. I like just, and a lot of times I try to limit to 2 or 3, but sometimes my whole prayer is just gratitude. And it's very important we do that. Like I said earlier, as long as you're alive, God still has a purpose for you. So there's always that one thing to be thankful for, okay? So, but with ADHD, Thanksgiving comes with a lot of emotions. Some joyful, some, eating, some fun, some family members you are thankful to be avoided, to have avoided for a whole year, and some family members you have missed for the past 18 months, especially given the pandemic. Thanksgiving by far is my favorite holiday because I'm such a family person. I love to be around my family. I love to hang out. I just love to chill. Like, I'm a very homebody, cook and laugh and chill type of person. I also love to cook, right? I'm not saying I'm a chef. And I think it's that camaraderie that comes with cooking, where you just have your mom and your sisters and, family just in the kitchen, thinking of the recipe, laughing, joking, um, talking back at last time we saw each other. Just that's the fun of it, right? I just loved it. And I think maybe that's why I love Thanksgiving, because it's a time where we all come together to eat, to joke, to be together. But as you know, with our ADHD, Thanksgiving can test if the coaching you have been paying for is actually working, okay? Because it can certainly test your executive function. Like, legit. Is it organization? Is it time management? Is it impulsivity? Is it flexible thinking? Is it emotional control? Is it what else? What else? What else? I can't even think right now. It's just, is it memory, right? Is it memory? Is it energy? Like, there's so many things that we're just not good at that Thanksgiving test. So I figure what better way to talk about this than to discuss how I deal with my Thanksgiving, okay? So again, another short episode. Usually when I talk to you guys, it's about 20 to 30 minutes. I try not to go over 30 minutes. And yeah, and again, just to remind you guys, I do not edit this episode because I know myself as a perfectionist, not because I don't believe in excellence. I do believe in excellence, but I'm also a perfectionist and I'm working on my perfectionism nature. Okay. So we are going to roll with the punches with this. Okay. All right. So, number one, I want to talk about is organization. Before I even start organizing, I always have to think back to the last Thanksgiving. What was the thing I loved about the last Thanksgiving, or maybe a Thanksgiving I went to? And the organization is also going to depend on, am I hosting? I love to host, but I usually will like host 1 year and maybe go to someone else the next year. So it's, am I hosting or am I not hosting? Because your organization is going to be different based on what role you're playing. So this year I am hosting and I'm so glad to host. We have some family friends coming over. It's going to be amazing. Okay. So the first thing I do is I write down and I plan the type of Thanksgiving I want. Is it going to be fun or proper? Do I need my cleaner to come clean the house before? Do I need some things cooked ahead of time? Do I need to order some things? I love to cook, but it's going to be a lot for me cooking for over 20 people for the next Thanksgiving. So what I've actually done is I have separated it, where I love to cook my turkey and I have this new recipe I'm trying this year. God help me. I hope it turns out well. But I will be doing the turkey aspect of it. I'm also going to be making something called jollof rice and plantains, suya, and pepper soup. And that's where I stop at. The other side dishes, I'm actually going to order from a very amazing place where they have amazing mac and cheese, amazing sweet potato casserole. Just so, oh, I can't wait to go pick it up Thanksgiving morning, and I'm just gonna hit that up for the day, okay? Um, and then in planning, like a lot of times we think of just the food, right? So what other things are you going to need? Are you going to need someone to help you go pick up the things that I talked about, right? Um, or are you, if you're not cooking, right? If you don't like to cook, are you going to order everything? Or are you going to do it potluck style where people are going to come over and bring us certain things? That way you just focus on one thing if you don't like to cook, right? Or are you just going to avoid everything? Like, listen, I'm not doing this. I need to, let's all just go eat outside. That's perfectly fine too. You just have to know yourself and know the kind of Thanksgiving that you want, okay? Another thing that is very important in planning is to having a budget. Like, how much do you want to spend on this Thanksgiving? Make your list, because there are things that you may already have in the house. And you making a budget or you planning is you looking in your pantry and saying, okay, what is in my pantry right now that I can use for Thanksgiving before I go shopping? Because what you don't want to do is get to the store and you see this fancy thermometer that you don't need. You really don't need it. You got a thermometer that works for your turkey. You could just use that and get it for like 25 bucks. Someone I may or may not know may have done that, okay? And then you get home and you're like, what the? I didn't need this, back it goes. Or maybe new placemats. You have a placemat you can use, okay? So it's very important to make a budget and try to stick to your budget, which also kind of goes under the planning, okay? Having self-awareness is so important, okay? Um, when I'm hosted, what I also do is I plan my cooking. That way I have at least 30 minutes to an hour before the guests get here. And lo and behold, I end up almost finishing even closer to like maybe 10 minutes before they get there. But it helps me, like, decompress, take a shower, because you don't want to be smelling like food around your guests. So, like, I have everything laid down, then I go get ready, make myself look like I have not been slaving in the kitchen all day. Another thing I do is while I cook, I have other people clean, right? Like, it's a team effort. If you like to cook, find someone that likes to clean. Or maybe as you're cooking, they're cleaning. So maybe while they're cleaning or setting the table or those things you really don't care about, there you go, get ready, okay? What else? Turkey. Turkey is big. So the first year I still remember this in middle school. The first year that I remember us doing a big Thanksgiving, we really did not realize that you marinate the turkey like maybe a day before. And we brought it out that Monday. We're like, oh, it's time to marinate. It came out okay, but it wasn't the best. So start thawing your turkey as of Tuesday. Okay. So if you're listening to the podcast today and your turkey is in the freezer, go ahead and get it out, right? But you need to thaw it in the fridge and plan how you're going to do the turkey, because that's very important. Delegate, 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 delegate. So that's the next thing. So after organization, the next thing you need to talk about is delegation. I talked about how I have other people cleaning up, have other people help you with the planning too, right? Like, talk to people like, okay, what part of this can you help me with? Right? We are going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Can you do G, H, and you do E, F, and you do B, C, and I do A? Because when you guys work together, again, I talk about the importance and finding fun in working together in Thanksgiving. It helps you a lot, right? Other things you could delegate is, so for example, I have pre-ordered meal. I can delegate someone to go pick up the meals. That way, while I'm cooking the jollof rice or the soup, my husband or my mom's not going to be around, but like someone else is picking up the food, right? That way, I don't have to do that part. Cleaning, delegated cleaning. You don't have to be the one cooking and cleaning. What about setting the tables? What about getting the kids ready? What about all the other things that are necessary? What about planning the fun? Like, what fun activities are you having? Are the boys going to be watching football? What are the kids going to be doing? Is the Nintendo, if you have a Nintendo Switch or whatever the kids play with, are they charged? Do you have board games? Like, what are you guys going to do karaoke? Like, those kind of things is important to delegate it out if it's not in your zone of genius. So first of all, you got to know, what am I good at and what do I like doing? I'm good at this and I like doing this. Everything else, delegate it. You could delegate even to your babies. Okay, my 4-year-old is in charge of cleaning the toys. Okay, all right, so now it's 2 p.m. Can you clean up the toys, baby? Right? So don't feel like you have to do everything. Again, it's a family affair. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is emotions. You guys know we're really horrible with our emotion dysregulation. uh, a lot of us have anxiety with family and that sense of judgment that comes with, oh my gosh, you still haven't done this. Oh my gosh, are you still blaming your ADHD? Oh my God. Like thankfully, my family is not like that, but I do have some friends and clients and people I know where their family are very judgmental. Okay. What I would tell you is that number one, you are who you are, and God has a purpose for you. You first have to learn how to love yourself. And you loving yourself, and I mean all of yourself. In you loving all of yourself, it makes it easier for you to take those back blows that people have, right? It makes it easier for you to ignore people and say, you know what, that's their story. It is not factual. The question is, what is the story you're telling yourself? Are you telling yourself you're lazy? Are you telling yourself you're horrible? Are you telling yourself, I would never be able to do this? If that's the story you're telling yourself, when other people affirm that story on you, then it has a negative effect on you. But if you tell yourself, I am the bomb.com, I am amazing, I am beautiful, I am fantastic, my name is Lola Day, the owner of wealth, the peace, like, hype yourself up, okay? Hype yourself up. Where you hype yourself up and you take yourself to the pedestal that you deserve to be placed as the queen that you are, when people try to tear you down, you look at them like, I don't think you know who you're talking to. Okay? So you're going to have auntie whatever say how you're still single because of blah blah blah. You're going to have uncle whatever say you're not making money because of blah blah blah. You're going to have your sister say you're too fat because of blah blah blah. All that stuff, you can listen to it. Take the positive feedback, right? Or the constructive feedback out of it, and the rest flush down the toilet, okay? That's how I deal with my emotions. A lot of times people feel like I don't care about their quote unquote constructive criticism. I feel like that's an oxymoron, first of all, right? You don't need to criticize. You can elevate, you can give feedback, right? I don't deal with criticism in that way. You can give me constructive feedback. I'm able to deal with constructive feedback because if there's any kind of negative criticism that will bring down my energy, I toss that in the trash. Flush it down the toilet. It's not part of it. So if you're anxious about that auntie and that uncle, whatever, that's coming to Thanksgiving, before you get there, elevate yourself. Be your best hype man, okay? Tell yourself whose child you are. Tell yourself how amazing you are. Get ready for the blowbacks. Not everything deserves an answer, boo. Sometimes you just look at them and say, I disagree, and leave it at that. Some people are already coming to you for a fight. And when you don't give them a fight, they're hella confused. Okay? So that's what I'm going to encourage you when it comes to the emotion part. The next thing I'm talking about, I can't talk, y'all. The next thing I'm going to talk about is impulsivity. Our mind is hella fast. It's faster than our mouth, okay? We don't have that break sometimes. And we kind of say some things we're not supposed to say, right? I encourage you to work on being quick to listen and slow to speak. While we have ADHD and we're quick to speak and slow to listen, it is a neural pathway that can be recreated. Okay? So, one of the things I do is sometimes, even before I talk, I speak in my mind. I answer them in my mind and I think through it. Give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes before you just blout out and attack them. We have this attack mouth, right? Ask them if they even need your opinion. And then, before you say anything, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, especially if it's something that's emotionally charged. Ask yourself if you've thought through it and count how many times you're actually talking through the conversation. I am so guilty of this. People will tell you I have put my foot in my mouth a lot of times. I have given unsolicited advice. I've been told that, right? But in me being in people telling me that, I've been able to reevaluate myself and say, okay, maybe that was not the appropriate way to do it. Maybe if I feel I have amazing advice for this person, I can ask them if they need my advice at all, right? Some people just want to vent. They don't need your advice. They just want to vent, and you just need to create that space for them to vent. So that's, I mean, my impossible, I can't talk. Being impulsive. Me being impulsive a lot of time comes in the talking aspect. Some people are impulsive in the money aspect. Planning and budgeting will help you with that. The next thing I want to talk about is setting boundaries. What is it you don't like about Thanksgiving and reframing? If you don't like Auntie Susie or Uncle Kenny or whatever talking about your children, have a discussion with them ahead of time. Auntie, please don't call my kids bad kids. Auntie, we're going to have a positive Thanksgiving this year. And I know you have certain feeling about a political group, but we're going to do a no politics Thanksgiving this year. You know? So set expectations ahead of time. When you set that expectation, it is easier for people to follow through on what your expectations are. But you can't just assume that Auntie Susie does not knows that you don't like them, like her talking about your children. And then when she talks about your children, you're rolling your eyes and doing your face, right? And then there's a huge elephant in the room. But if you set boundaries ahead of time and tell her what you will or will not take, it is easier for them to follow through on it versus just assuming they're supposed to know. Okay? So this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. And I'm at I said I was going to be between 20 and 30 minutes. And I'm about the 20-minute mark. The last thing I'm going to talk about is rest. With ADHD, we go, and we crash, okay? The reason why we crash a lot of times is because we do not rest. So I do recommend if you are planning to have a long, busy Thanksgiving, not only do you need to take breaks in between cooking, just 2 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 5 minutes here, nothing major. I do recommend my clients take the next day to rest. If you're mad about Black Friday, child, everything is online now. And then there's still Cyber Monday, okay? So you're not going to miss out. But it is very, 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 very important to rest. When you rest, also cater to your mind, also cater to your body, also cater to your soul, because you have poured yourself out for people either by hosting or going to meet people, right? Who knows what happened on Thanksgiving? It may be 100% fun or it may be 100% horrible, but whichever it is, you put some kind of energy out there and you need to reset. Okay? And remember, during Thanksgiving, these two shall end. Every day is going to end, including Thanksgiving Day, okay? So just remember, just practice gratitude, which is the reason for Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family, the good and the imperfect. Remember, they make you who you are. And choose joy, okay? And I think that's it for today of LollieTasking. If you want to learn how to choose joy or how I choose me, I'm currently in a project called Project Me. please join us at accomplishwithease.com and join our program, okay? So remember, on today's episode, we talked about how to survive Thanksgiving, essentially. And I started with organizing. And with organizing, we talked about planning, we talked about delegation, and I talked about your emotions, being able to control your emotions, and the importance of knowing who you are and hyping yourself before you even get into the situation, right? And then I talked about being impulsive, and especially in the talking aspect and listening aspect, and saying what you don't mean during Thanksgiving. And then we talked about setting boundaries, the importance of setting boundaries around your money, how much you're going to spend, around the people that come to you is very, very important. And the last and most important of it all is resting and making sure you're able to recoup and reset and recharge so you come back stronger like a bus that you are. Okay? So that was it. So thank you again for hanging out with me on another day of LollieTasking with Dr. Lola Day, LollieTasking with ADHD. I love you guys. Please don't be a stranger. If you have any questions or want to talk about this more extensively, we do have a Facebook group that you can join. To continue the conversation, okay? But before you go, I want you to go ahead and think through all the stuff I talked about. What is that one thing you would do? Write it down, create a plan, and do it. So don't forget to follow us on IG at LollieTasker, or you can also email us at hello@LollieTasking.com. I would love for you to leave a review. Please leave us a review. The more you leave a review, the more people find out about us. And maybe, just maybe, I will shout you out on a future episode. So till next time, remember, you can do it too. With some planning, a little bit of balance, and a dash of determination. This is LollieTasking with ADHD. Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of LollieTasking with ADHD. If you like what you've heard today, I would love for you to click the subscribe button, rate, and leave a great review, in addition to sharing with your friends. Your review allows visibility and also allows other amazing women to find this podcast. Also, if you have any questions or topics you would like for us to discuss, please contact me via direct message on Instagram at LollieTasker or email us at hello@LollieTasking.com. Till next time, this is LollieTasking with ADHD.